And we have representing Donna, Margaret.
Makeup.
Because she has makeup.
Representing Peggy, we have Anne. And representing Sylvia, we have Barb. And all the rest of us are here in person. We really wanted to line up on the stairs like the Von Trapp family, because that's what we sound like. And we call ourselves the White Trash Rappers, or the Von Rappers. So, here we go.
That was I thought it was a good idea.
No. It wasn't, listen, the idea was there, but she did allow me to do a lot of the...
I stole it from Pam, but anyway.
Listen, Pam. Okay, here we go. What? Ready? Class
is 90 on March 19th. Niftiest auntie we've ever seen. Born in the year of 23. What an effect she's had on me.
Child number 7 in a family of 8. It was a happy home, economy not great. Gladys and her sisters in the summertime had a milk route, quart of milk for a dime. They loved 10 quarts, first to Mrs. Sutherland, where they smelled real coffee. Then they went for a swim. On down the river without a second look to the Patterson place where they put the milk in the brook.
Childhood trip. Gladys had a special trip when she was 9. Aunt Aggie took her to St. John for a time. It was 1932 and times were tough. She had to wear the soldier coat and it was pretty rough. It was made over from the First World War. Each Henderson child had worn it. They were so very poor. And poor little Gladys had no shoes. But in the closet, Mother found ladies' boots with pointy toes. Her high-fashion outfit was not quite done till she donned the navy hat with berries on the front. All decked out the best they could do. When they got to St. John, Uncle Rain bought her shoes. Aunt Aggie saw the night before her wretched-looking undergarments, and knowing she was poor, bought her 5 items out of genuine pity: a slip, bloomers, undershirts, stockings, and a nightie.
Born in the year of 23, what an effect she's had on me.
Her mother died when she was only 14. She was on her own, too young it seems. She went to Sussex where she did grade 9, lived with Aunt Marjorie, and life was fine. But she missed her home and she had no mother, moved back to Crawford House and lived with John, her brother. But as winter came, Sister Charlotte mothered hens, insisted that Gladys move in with them.
Born in the year of 23, what an effect she's had on me.
Gladys met her love on a Saturday night. His legs were long and his teeth were white. At the ripe old age of 17, she married that man in Lower Mill Stream.
When Gladys and Eldon were safely wed, they lived in a little house that had twin beds. Donna went to visit for a little while. To recall that time brings her a smile. Aunt Gladys liked to joke, it is said, so she hid Donna in Eldon's bed. Eldon, however, had a plan of his own. Jumped in with Gladys. He was had her own plan. Jumped in with Gladys. He was a loving man.
Their first son, Bill, raised by the book, was 3 years old before Eldon got a look. Eldon was fighting overseas while Bill was a toddling and scraping his knees. When Eldon got back from across the world, along came Deanna, their precious girl. Then in the year of 47, along came Ross,
Straight from heaven.
In February 1953, she brought forth Reed,
An anomaly.
In a few short months, Gladys felt a little queasy. Could she be pregnant again? This would not be easy. She knew this news might cause a ripple. She confided in Charlotte, who yelled,
Show me your nipples.
Sure enough, it happened. Although a little bald, along came Beth, a true gift from God.
I lived with Aunt Gladys between 3 and 4 and loved it because there were babies galore. I would run for the diaper change so that I could see, was there an exciting package or was there just pee?
Born in the year of
I stayed at her house when my parents went away. I had my dog Rusty and Deanna to play. A little knock came as at the door, you see. I answered and the lady said, "Where your mama be?" "Not here," said I, and she went away. But Aunt Gladys found out much later that day. The lady was there for cream to buy, but Aunt Gladys was nice about it. I really hadn't lied. My mother wasn't there. Aunt Gladys could always find the funny side of everything. She was always so kind.
In the late 50s, what might make you pause, Gladys opened her heart to the Titus in-laws. Etta did ramble about the past and those Hendersons.
Poor white trash.
Harry would sometimes take a nip, but Etta stepped in and gave him lip.
My life changed when I was 3. Along came a blonde princess who displaced me. I would visit Aunt Gladys and in her family. I was special again and could be the baby. And even though he had bad legs, Grandpa Harry would help me with my
Turnip jigs.
As a teenager, I can recall parties in the ballroom, and that's not all. Uncle Eldon liked to party and drink a little bit. Turned up the music up loud to get the beat to it. And if Gladys turned it down, not for long, someone always cranked it up before the very next song.
In the summertime, when the weather was warm, Gorham's Bluff often had a thunderstorm. Aunt Gladys was nervous and gathered us together in the living room to wait out the weather.
Get away from the window.
Don't use the phone.
Stay out of the kitchen.
I'm glad we're all home.
After every boom of thunder, you could guarantee a flash of lightning and an Aunt Gladys scream.
Born in the year of 23, what an effect she's had on me.
I spent some time with Beth on the bluff. We had a lot of fun doing summer stuff. I fondly remember picking blueberries for our Aunt Gladys up at Russell McClary's. Aunt Gladys had me put some clothes on the line. The way I pinned the panties was not so fine. I spread them right out so the size would show. I was only 13.
I just didn't know.
Went to visit Aunt Gladys at the church one day, dressed in my church clothes. I was not planning to play. But Ross and Raymond Johnson were on their snowmobiles. They asked me to join them for a trip around the field. The trip lasted for hours.
I was damn near froze.
I stumbled into Aunt Gladys and she stood me beside the stove. She wrapped me up in blankets and brought me hot drinks. Aunt Gladys saved my life that night, brought me back from the brink.
When my driver's license I could not obtain, she offered her little yellow Toyota and her brain. And in cadets, she gave me support when I had to learn to shoot, just for sport.
Aunt Gladys always enjoyed a local adventure, sleeping under the stars on the beach for sure. She loves the time around a bonfire. We listen to her stories, in which we never tire. And when our crew moved from Fredericton down, Aunt Gladys was there to camp with us in Gage Town. Although she is an outdoor cat, she doesn't like thunder and she doesn't like bats. With a towel on her head and a swinging broom, I remember her fighting bats by the light of the moon.
A nice summer day, I went with Susan to get Aunt Gladys for a picnic, but she wasn't moving. Her arthritis ached and her rheumatism pain. Couldn't get off the chair to join the gang. Then lo and behold, she had a phone call. Charlotte was coming, and that's not all. She was bringing a visitor from the past. When they walked in, the pain didn't last. Up sprang Gladys from out of her chair. She ran across the room on a tear. She grabbed Eldon Chetley, and heaven knows, she felt a tingle
Clean to her toes.
The relationship rekindled, and from what I've heard, they've lived together like two lovebirds.
Born in the year of 23, what an effect she's had on me.
Aunt Gladys will always be a loyal friend. She stays with her mother till the very end. She goes to her hut, and here's the deal. She takes newspapers, matches, and food for a meal. She keeps it so tidy, you could never match. She relies on her clippers and her trusty hatchet. She loves the river and roll and swim.
Enjoys a skinny dip every now and then.
Now, Aunt Gladys doesn't want gifts she can see, but I can remember the one she gave me when I turned 50. Such a lovely, wonderful gift. Some would be insulted, some would be miffed, but I was enraptured and fell back in awe, for the gift she had given was a new buck saw. What better than that? A hint from her page, a reminder to never give in to your age.
Ever the queen of the acronym D-O-N meant
Stay away from him.
Eldon owes Gladys one night oat. That's how to remember the postal code show.
Her signage is famous, that's for sure. GMT on every door.
Aunt Gladys has worked and entered the race to earn the nickname Aunt Just in Case.
She leaves home prepared, a Girl Scout at heart. Some crackers, milk, and cereal, and that's just a start.
A bedroll in case she stays the night, only the essentials, she travels light.
Her database is beyond compare. Her diaries, death book, photo albums she'll always share.
always prepared she'll ever be to get with her pills and her pads and her clean panties.
She's been very productive, she's just not nifty. This summer her descendants will
Total 50. So let's raise a toast to GMT as we all celebrate her life history. Gladys is 90 on March 19, niftiest auntie we've ever seen. Born in the year of 23, what an effect she's had on me.
They rehearsed last night at Camp.